And now I shall start. Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Michelle, and today we are continuing on in our ranking of fictional characters. It's been a little while since I did the last one, but today we're going to rank ISTPs. Remember how I said ISTPs were the most likely to survive apocalyptic situations, including quarantine and zombie apocalypses? Well, you're gonna get to see a little bit why when you see some of these characters and the shows and movies that they are in. So hopefully this will give you insight as to why if you're not an ISTP, and if you are an ISTP, let me know which character you relate the most to. Without further ado, let's go ahead and just rank these characters. I'm using the same tier ranking system as I used for the INTJ, except now I have, rather than not an INTJ, I have the category have not seen. In other words, I have not seen anything with this character in it and therefore cannot have an opinion. If you guys have a very strong opinion about this character, let me know. And if that's the case, maybe I'll go ahead and check it out. Let's go ahead and rank these characters. First, we're gonna start with Wolverine. Wolverine is from X-Men, and he's a pretty decent character. I definitely really enjoy watching him more than most of the other characters in X-Men. He's a very interesting character, and I'm gonna go ahead and put him in dynamic. Then we have Han Solo. Han Solo from Star Wars is, he was always my brother's favorite character, and a lot of people who watch Star Wars really like Han Solo. Not gonna lie, not my favorite character. I think he's probably one of the better characters from Star Wars, but maybe I just have feelings about Star Wars separate from the character, but I'm just gonna say he's meh. He's not a cliche ISTP. There are definitely going to be cliche ISTPs in this list, but he's not a character that I really care to watch too much, so he's meh, meh, meh. Next we have Daryl Dixon from The Walking Dead. He is absolutely one of my favorite characters from The Walking Dead. He goes through a lot of change as a character. He grows, he fails, he changes, he is one of the most dynamic characters in the entire show and is absolutely gonna sit at the top of dynamic. I may move him to God tier, however. It just really depends on the other characters and how I rate them. Next we have Toph, who Toph is hilarious, and she's one of the best characters from Avatar. Why is it that ISTPs often become the best characters in the movie? I don't know, maybe it's because they're so stubborn, they're so kind of lazy, but also really smart, but also never say their opinions until they do, and then when they give their opinions, they're very well thought out, and I just really like ISTP characters. There's something about them. Toph is one of those. She is hilarious, and I'm gonna put her at the there. I think she's better than Wolverine, not better than Daryl Dixon. You know what? Ooh, I think I'm moving him up to God tier. I think I have to move Daryl up to God tier because I think compared to some of these other characters, he's gotta be. Next, we have Natasha Romanoff, or the Black Widow. And, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not a huge fan of Avengers. And I feel like she's a little bit cliche in the ISTP archetype-ness. She's better than some of the other characters, for sure. But I don't like her that much. I don't like Avengers that much, but I also feel like she's kind of flat personally. I'm sure if you guys are like, Michelle, it's because you haven't seen all 50 Avengers movies and haven't decided to suck literally 2 weeks worth of your time in order to watch each of these movies, which are like 90% fight scenes and 2% plot and 8% jokes. If I wanted to spend my time that way, I would, but I don't, and I'm just gonna put her in a little bit of a cliche zone. Next, we have Michonne. Michonne is a character who I think that I love more than Daryl Dixon. You just learn so much about her and her past and why she is the way that she is, and she changes and she makes tough decisions and she really has an effect on the other characters. She is just such an interesting character. She adds so much to the story. She started off a little bit cliche. Let's not lie about that. I mean, when she was the hooded woman in black, but she came into her own and she built herself up. But because of her rough starts, I don't know if I could put her up quite as high as Daryl Dixon. I like her more as a character, I think. I don't know. I'm gonna put her above Toph, but in dynamic. I think she's really good. I just think she has a rough start as a character and would like to see a little bit more from her. Next we have Jason Bourne. Jason Bourne is a really great trilogy that I used to watch when I was younger. I'm not really into action movies, but I do really like Jason Bourne. As for the movie overall, I think that it's really just good for the action. I don't know if it's necessarily great for the character development or character intrigue in general. I just think it's a good action movie. So I'm going to put him in meh. I'm definitely going to put him above Han Solo. And then we have Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn, you guys may come to know, is a video game I'm obsessed with. I really, really love this video game and have not found another video game that hits quite as many of the things that I love in a video game. First of all, the main character is amazing. Second of all, the world, it's like completely in nature. There's lots of robots, there's lots of sci-fi, there's lots of world building. I just love everything about it, and I really love Aloy's character. Because it's a video game, I can't really put her in God tier because there's only so much you really get from her character. I really like her character. Her character is super interesting. Is she more interesting than Wolverine? I don't think so. I don't think she has enough to go off of. I love her so much. I absolutely adore her, but I think I'm gonna have to put her in the top of meh. As much as I love her, I think as a video game character, there's only so much we can really get from her, and that's why I have to put her down a little bit. Next, we have Spike from Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop is a great anime. If you guys are into anime, highly, highly recommend. He is a hilarious character and I love him, but do I think he is incredibly interesting as a character? I think he's above Aloy. I definitely think he's above Aloy. But he's still just meh. I mean, there could be more. And that's why he's not going to get as high as a ranking, especially compared to the other characters both coming up and on the board right now. Next, we have Takeshi Kovach from Altered Carbon. I'm not going to lie to you guys. There's a lot of things wrong with Altered Carbon. And you know what's so crazy is it has everything you would think I love, but something about the show just really, oof, got me pissed. And his character is so cliche, I can't even handle it. And I really, really don't like him. I want to like him. I want to like the show. I want to like the characters. I want to like it in every sense of the word. I really, really want to like it. But I don't. And he is the definition of a cliche ISTP. If you want to know what a cliche ISTP is, watch Altered Carbon and look at Takeshi Kovach. There's so much potential there, and maybe that's what pisses me off, is there's so much potential for it to be really good, and it's just not. Next we have Annie from Attack on Titan. Annie's also a cliche. I love Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan is one of my favorite all-time anime, but Annie is not my favorite character. Not only is she a cliche ISTP, but there's just nothing to her. I mean, she really just, first of all, has almost no lines. There's just not much interesting things going on with her, which there could be. It could be explored further, but it's not. Potentially in this next season, she may have something interesting in season 4 coming out in November, from what I hear, at least the first half. But I'm going to put her in cliche. I think she's above Black Widow, for sure, but she's still a cliche. Next, we have Aragorn. And I know that if I don't put him in God tier, people are gonna be pissed, because he is absolutely, hands down, one of the best characters of Lord of the Rings. Aragorn is such an interesting character to watch. He goes through a lot of internal turmoil, which we get to witness, and he really is great. Is he God tier? Is it wrong if I put him in the top of dynamic? There are characters I like more than him. There are characters I like learning about and watching more than him. So by that definition, I like him more than Michonne. I think that he's more interesting than Michonne. But I don't know if I can put him in God tier. We'll see. I may change my mind, but as of right now, he's not up there. Toss a coin to your witcher. Geralt of Rivia. How to even begin? I think I'm just gonna say it. He's a cliche. There's almost nothing interesting about him as a character. Yeah, he's not the reason I watched The Witcher, even though he is the main character. I'm just gonna leave it there, and you guys can get mad at me all you want, but I don't think he's a very good character. I'm sorry. Next, we have John Wick. Why is it that ISTPs always end up the lead character in some kind of action movie? I'm sorry, but isn't that like the definition of a cliche? That being said, I have not seen John Wick and therefore cannot give an opinion. I could do the research, but I really feel like it wouldn't be fair to his character to make any kind of judgment. And I really have no desire to watch John Wick. I'm sorry, you guys might be into that, but I'm not. John Wick is just not something that appeals to me. It's just a straight action movie. I really liked Jason Bourne, but I was also younger and I was much more open to watching a bunch of different things. If you guys tell me that he's one of the most amazing characters you've ever seen in a show or movie ever, and you think that my life would be incomplete if I did not watch it, maybe then I'll check it out. It would have to be a lot of you to say that. Don't troll me. You would have to be a lot of you guys to say that for me to even consider it. I really have no desire to watch it and no desire to give an opinion on it because I can't. Next, we have Arya Stark from Game of Thrones. Arya Stark is by far, bar none, one of the absolute best characters in the entire series, both in the written form and in the movies or TV show. Her growth, her change, her development is just constant, and there is so much to gain. I really, really, really love, especially in the book, when she joins the assassin group. Oh my god, this is depressing. I can't remember the name. The Faceless. She joins the Faceless, and that is the absolute best time to watch her, in my opinion, and she just is so great. I love watching her character in every single way, and I cannot get enough of her character. If they made a show just 100% about Arya Stark post Game of Thrones times, yes, sign me up. I'll watch every single episode, and I love her more than Daryl Dixon. She is one of the most interesting characters that I've seen that is an ISTP, and I love her. Fight me. Then we have The Mandalorian. You guys may or may not know, but Star Wars is not my favorite thing, let alone, break-offs from Star Wars itself. Not gonna lie, haven't seen it, can't give an opinion, and I probably never will. Just not my thing. Sorry, not my thing at all. Next, we have Walt from Gran Torino. Gran Torino is such a good movie. If you have not seen it, you absolutely need to. Walt is such a god. All right, he's not a god. He's such an annoying character. He's pissy. He's angry. I mean, he's Clint Eastwood, and Clint Eastwood kind of plays the same character in all things. But the movie and his character are phenomenal to watch, and it's interesting to watch. And even though he is kind of annoying and frustrating, I love watching him. And he's definitely high tier. Levi Ackerman from Attack on Titan. Yes, 2 characters from Attack on Titan, because that's, first of all, how much I love that show. Second of all, they're both really great characters. Levi often gets typed as an INTJ, but don't let that fool you. He's not. He's an ISTP. It's pretty clear he's an ISTP, and I love his character so much. He is by far the fan favorite of the TV show. There is not a single person who watches Attack on Titan is like, oh yeah, that Levi guy? Nah, don't want anything to do with him. No, he's like everyone's Absolute favorite character in the show. Levi is definitely one of the best. He is a dynamic character. He has a lot of backstory to learn, and every little piece that you get just makes him that much better of a character. And I'm gonna say he's god tier. He is a badass and a god. A serious god. Not that serious of a god. I still think I like Daryl Dixon better than Levi, but he's for sure up there. Now we have Mulan. Mulan is one of my favorite Disney princesses. You know, ISTPs, just such great characters. Just love them in so many different scenarios. Mulan is fascinating. She is trying to be her own person in a world that wants her to be more like a girl when she's not like that. And I think I related a lot to that as a kid. And I really appreciate her entire character and growth and change. And she's fascinating. She definitely deserves to be in dynamic. Above Wolverine. I still don't think about her that much outside of watching it, but I really, really like her character. She's a very good character. Then we have James Bond. I chose the most recent James Bond, but there are like 5,000 replicas of James Bond, so you could take your pick. I just chose the most recent one. Don't even ask me the actor's name. I don't actually know. I probably should have chosen one that I actually knew the actor's name from. Honestly, James Bond is by far a super cliche ISTP. He's got his dry martinis, he's always swooning the ladies, he's just action-packed, and there's not really much going on to learn about him as a character, and they have done so many James Bond. You would think there would be so much to learn about James Bond, but there's not. Not to mention that the antagonists, especially in the later ones, have been super cliche. I'm sorry, but James Bond, you're a cliche. And I like you the least of all of these characters. I'm so sorry. Finally, we have Bane from Batman. And I'm specifically choosing Bane from the Dark Knight trilogy. In the last one, he literally takes over Gotham. And his character is awesome. Awesome. I love it. I love watching him. I love the interactions between him and Batman. He's super strong, can defeat the crap out of Batman, and the stakes were never higher. Like with the Joker, the stakes were high, but with Bane, there's just another level of stake that just can't be found with the Joker. And it's like Batman's true match is found with Bane, and I love watching Bane. I love that trilogy just overall. I'm not a huge superhero movie kind of person, but I love the Batman trilogy. And I love Bane's character. That being said, where does he line up with the other characters? You know what? I'm going to make one little change. I'm going to put him above Toph, and I'm going to move him down to meh. This is the final ranking. We have Arya Stark, clearly my favorite. Not because I'm a girl, but because she's a great character, okay? Gosh, sexist. Then we have Daryl Dixon and Levi Ackerman. Absolute god tier level, amazing ISTP characters in fiction. Just like if you want a really good ISTP in fiction to watch and to engage with, these three absolutely, bar none, one of the best, some of the best. Then we have Aragorn, Walt from Gran Torino, Michonne, Bane, Toph, and Mulan. Absolute great choices for ISTPs. Then in the middle of the road, they're good, but they're not amazing. We have Wolverine, Spike, Aloy, Jason Bourne, and Han Solo. And in the cliche section, we have Annie from Attack on Titan. We have Black Widow, Takeshi Kovach, Geralt of Rivia, and James Bond. And in the ones that I have not seen, but you guys recommended I rank, John Wick and The Mandalorian. Just not my thing. I'm not an action movie person. You guys should know this about me. What about me screams action movie fan? Anyway, this is my ranking. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you hate my ranking? Do you want to change my ranking? If you want to change my ranking, I will link the tier maker down below. Please rank them yourself and show me where I'm wrong because I'd like to see. I think that'd be fun. This is my ranking. These are how I view the ISTPs in fiction, and I'm really glad that you stuck around and watched this video. If you want to support me in what I do, go ahead and like and subscribe, especially if you like the video. You don't have to subscribe, just click the little like button. It's good for me and it's good for you, because you've done something good for this world. And with that, I want to thank you again so very much for watching, and I really hope you have a beautiful, amazing, fantastic day. Bye!